Hello, hello, hello. Let me move this out of the way. How is everyone? I'm so sorry. I'm a few moments late. I'm so sorry. I'm a few moments late. Like I just don't show up for forever, and then I'm late. I had a nerve, the unmitigated gall to be late. How is everyone doing? How are you? Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, happy Festivus for the rest of us. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Whatever it is that you celebrate, I want to say hello and happy, happy to you. Also, by the way, happy winter solstice. Today is the winter solstice. It is almost over. I was not going to let this go by though without for sure making sure that I got on here and said something to y'all and talked about the winter solstice. I'm clearing out all kinds of things of the things that I have open, child. I have so many. Do you guys ever have a lot of tabs open? Okay. Anyway, I'm talking because I'm wanting to let it get out that I'm actually live, and so it takes a moment in order for the notifications to go out. I'm actually going to open up X just to ensure and make sure that I am live over on X.com. I'm also going to, before we really get started here, which we're about to in just a minute. Katrina, hello, how are you, darling? How are you? I hope all is well. Am I live? Why am I not? Oh, I am live. Okay, great. Fabulous. Okay. Hello, hello. Happy Sunday. I've had a wonderful day. Thank you. Happy Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah to you as well. Betsy, hello. Greetings, my darling. Greetings. May your year be ahead be filled with peace, prosperity, and love. Yes, and Anna Elise. Anna Alicia, hello. Happy, beautiful Sunday. You've been waiting. Okay. All right. So I've given people a moment. I know it's going to take them a little bit more of a moment to get here. And I'm still kind of just going, okay, where am I at? I don't really like how my camera is situated either. So I'm gonna have to move that. But before we begin, so this is where it all actually begins, is right here. Okay, this is where it's all actually beginning, which is right here. You guys have come here today for us to discuss how to manifest your dreams in 2026. And I'm going to be reviewing something that I'm calling the identity shift protocol. If everybody at home wants to say identity shift, identity shift, identity shift. So we're going to be discussing it, and my other friends know that I'm live. Um, I'm live if you're available. If you're available around. The personal touch, I sometimes give that personal, oh, I'm live. The identity shift. What we're going to talk about tonight is a little bit deeper than just Happy New Year 2026. In fact, it's a lot deeper than Happy New Year 2026. And the reason it's a lot deeper is because this year, every year is significant. I think once we get to be people of a certain age, every year really becomes a lot more significant than the rest, right? Like it's just like, oh, you know. But this year, I think also as we get older, hopefully we get wiser and hopefully we're able to kind of give a little bit back and help people understand a little bit more about life in general. As we discuss 2026, and as we get older, I recognized and realized, right, that years and events and eras have cycles. And the more that we are into our astrological beings and our, numerological beings and all of these things, the more that we understand all these metaphysical aspects of life in general, the more I firmly believe that we should be comprehending that life has cycles. So within those cycles, as we also know, things should change. There is a life cycle. There is a no. There is a cycle to life, right? You're born, you live, you grow, you evolve, and then you transition. But there is that cycle for everything in our lives, and we should be paying attention to those cycles. We should be identifying those cycles in our lives, and then we should be learning the lessons from the cycles, right? And from the lessons from the cycles, we should then also be changing, upgrading, up leveling, changing who we are, right? And evolving so that when we experience the next cycle, it's not the same as this one, because if we don't learn anything, what was the point? So, what I want to discuss today, and I need to move this camera. So, I'm going to put something over here real quick. I'm going to move the camera, come sit back down, and then we're really going to get into it. And I'm going to know that some of this I'm going to be cutting and sparsing out. But we're going to get into how to manifest your dream in 2026. And really, this is all about shifting your identity protocol. And I'm going to talk to you about that, because you can't be who you can't see, right? You can't be who you can't see. Just like you have to have a vision, write the vision and make it plain. My people perish for a lack of knowledge, and knowledge also, gnosis, is knowing deep down inside who you are, what you are, and how you are. My people do what? They perish for a lack of what? Knowledge. I did not intend to go there. I'm gonna have to let me clean this up a little bit. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. Okay, let me put this. That's Hosea 6. I'm gonna share this screen with you real quick. I hadn't intended on it. Oh, there's the beautiful woman right there. Let me share the screen. Oh, I better make that bigger, huh? That's not gonna work. My people perish for a lack of knowledge is a powerful biblical quote from the prophet Hosea, Hosea 4:6, meaning people are destroyed not for a lack of intelligence, but from rejecting true knowledge of God. Now, this is in relationship to God, his covenant, and his law, leading to spiritual ruin, unfaithfulness, and ultimately divine judgment. I'm going to take this, though. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about this. This concept of this rejection of God's law. The knowledge refers to knowing God's will and law. You guys know, hands down, what I teach all the time. You already know what God's will is. Your higher self is already here. Your higher self already knows what God's will is. Because God's will is in concert with what is of your highest good. God's will is in concert with what is your purpose. God's will is in concert with what your higher being, your higher frequency that operates on love. In 2026, we're going to really have some really deep conversations about this misconception, I think. No, I know. This misconception of who God really is according to the Abrahamic religions. Now, that's going to be very uncomfortable for some people, but I can no longer suffer it. As they say, I can't suffer it any longer, because what I'm tired of is that which created me and you and this world and all these things. If we truly believe that which created us vibrates and operates on a frequency of love, then how could that same frequency, how could that same energy be perfectly fine with decimating entire races of people? How could that same energy be okay with starting wars and things? How can that same, right? How can that same energy be okay with enslaving people? How can that same energy be okay with oppression in the name of that energy? That doesn't jive with me. And if I don't know if it jives with y'all, but we're going to talk about that later. That went off on I'm sorry. So you already know God's will, and the law is the law of love, right? Treat your neighbor as you would yourself, honoring your father and mother, honoring your family. But that doesn't mean you have to be a doormat, but these operating in a high in love. And operating in love doesn't make you weak. In fact, I can love you through your pain and your foolishness. I just can love you from a distance, but I still love you because I love myself. And I know that it is not of my highest good to be bothered with your foolishness and your tomfoolery. Amen. Okay. So that's what we need to understand. This is really, to me, the main thing that we need to understand about perishing for a lack of knowledge. Okay. Now, let's talk about um, write the vision and make it plain. Okay, here we go. Write the vision, make it plain. That's Habakkuk 2, 2 through 3 in the King James Version. And it says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon the tables that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end of it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come and will not tarry. Write the vision and make it plain upon upon tables, tablets. Write it down. Write the vision and make it plain. Why? So that when you read it, it'll make you want to run. Now, those of us that grew up in black church or other church, like the Pentecost or some sort of church, we know what that means. That means the organ is started and the minister and said, well, and we just gone. Right? We running for Jesus for a mighty long time, and I'm not tired yet. You all remember that? Okay. Yeah. You go to run in the four corners of the church. Don't act like I'm the only one. I ain't the only one. I know I ain't. So that he may run that readeth it, so that he may run, that he may move, that he may not wait and sit and read it and say, oh, that's real nice. That's a beautiful thing. Well, we just gonna wait on we're gonna wait on God. We just gonna wait on God. We just gonna wait. Cause if it be God's will, Lord help me, if it be God's will, if y'all don't stop playing with me, if y'all don't stop playing with me, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. Okay, so it is for a time that has been appointed. But at the end it shall speak. Well, how does a vision speak? It becomes made manifest and not lie. We're going to create that vision that speaks and doesn't lie today. And then we're going to do the fast track to get to the appointed time, because this is the next part. Though it tarry, so though the vision or the manifestation of it tarry, wait for it. Listen, too many of us, I was not anticipating this, but I feel good now. Too many of us sit around here and we wait. We stop at that though it tarry and wait for it. That's where a lot of us were taught. We stopped at the though it tarry, wait for it. So you got to wait on the Lord. We left off the second part. See, and we left off a big chunk in the middle. Talking about write the vision, make it plain upon tables. We were supposed to be writing stuff down on our vision boards all this time. We were supposed to be writing stuff down on our vision boards all this time. Did y'all hear me? We were supposed to be writing on our vision boards all this time. to make it plain that he may run that readeth it, so that when you saw it, you wanted to take off running. You wanted to, because even though it's at an appointed time, so your identity, your person has to get to this point, but at the end it shall speak, because it's going to be made manifest. So your works, your gifts make room for you, right? So they speak on your behalf and they open doors and not lie. There's not a lie here to be found about anything that you have. Listen, if it's a desire deep in your heart, it's not a lie, it's the truth. As long as you're not seeking to harm anybody, that's my only caveat, okay? As long as we're not seeking to harm anyone, that's my only issue. But if this is true and for your own right, we're good. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. Can somebody say surely? It will surely come. Because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Well, that doesn't make any sense, Lisa. What does that mean? You just said, though it tarry, wait for it. You can't see it yet. You're seeing it, but you're not really seeing it. You're sensing it, but you're not really feeling it. You're in it, but you're not really of it. So it feels like it's afar off. But actually, it's not. It will surely come if you write the vision, make it plain, and look upon it. And look upon it. And internalize it. You have the faith of the grain of a mustard seed that is completely inseparable. You can't, there's nothing you can do to the DNA, the grain of that mustard seed. You can't split it, you can't GMO it, you can't do nothing to that. It is the purest seed you're gonna find. So if you can feel it and you can sense it and you can know it, my dear friend Armand met someone. I hope he's okay. Anyway, he met someone over the weekend, and I'm not going to say the exact phrase, so but he met this woman that's been in the mindset, meditation, and all that kind of game for a long, long, long time. And this woman said that she doesn't really manifest anything anymore. She just is. She just is. She don't do nothing, she said. Why? Because she's trained. Her higher self knows it's okay to go out and get. The higher self has the vision. The higher self then brings it into the mind, what brings it into the body. Because unless you write it down on the tables and make it plain, unless you write it down, I've been teaching y'all this for a long time now. Unless you write it down, it can't be made manifest. Why? Because it's got to have a canal to be birthed within the earth. Now I'm gonna slow that down. Unless you write it down and make it plain, it cannot come into the earth. Now, at some point, you're going to get to the point. I don't write a lot of stuff down anymore. It just is, right? It just comes. But I'm very used to the manifestation and the creation process. But especially when you're beginning, or especially now with the start of a new year, you have to write this vision down and make it plain on the tables, on the tablets, on your wall, on your phone, on your wherever it is. Write it in lipstick on your mirror. I don't care what you do. But you got to make it so plain that when you see it, it quickens you. It makes you want to run. It makes you want to shout. It makes you want to yep. And it becomes part of your daily. We're going to talk about this in a moment. Believe me, we haven't even got to the intro. So here's the vision, make it plain, because the vision is yet for an appointed time. There is a moment in time where your identity and your vision will coalesce, and then it'll be birthed. There's a appointed time for a child to be birthed into this earth. You might not know it as the mama carrying that baby. We can approximate it, but we can't get it down to the end until it's time for the birth. Then miracles happen. So it's yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. So even though you can't see it, it's not a lie. Even though you can't see it, it doesn't mean it. It doesn't mean anything just because you can't see it yet, because you got to get to that point where you can't see it. Though it tarry, wait for it. There's a short waiting period while you're preparing the nursery and the crib and getting the bottles and the diapers and because you got to be prepared for the birth of this baby. But it will surely come, and actually it will not tarry. Do you know what that means? It's closer to you than you think. Can somebody put in a chat? It's closer than I think. When you're watching this later, it's closer than I think. Put that in the comments down below. Put that in the chat as we're watching this live. It's closer than I think. Okay? All right, now, here we go. How to manifest your dream 2026. How to manifest your dream 2026, not just your dream in 2026. And man, it's closer than I think. Yes. Not just a dream in 2026, but your dream 2026. And we're going to be reviewing the identity shift protocol. Now, here we go. Now we're at the intro. I want y'all to do something for me, okay? Do something with me. I want you to close your eyes for a second. And as you close your eyes, I want you to imagine waking up in 2026, realizing that you are finally living the life you were always meant to. Now I want you to hold that vision. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes. This isn't a far off dream. It's a tangible reality that's within your grasp right now. But before we look forward, I need you to look back. So we see where our life that we were always meant to live looks like. I want you to look back. I want you to think back to 2016 with me. And I want you to think, where were you and who were you? So I want you to think back to 2016 and think about, where were you and who you were. Who were you? Because today we are in a massive and magic energetic threshold. Because the cycle that we started in 2016 is now closing over the next 12 or so days, 13 days. The cycle, actually 14, right? The cycle in 2 weeks that we started in 2016 is ending in 2026. And I'm going to take advantage this year of the calendar new year, because 2026 equals what? 2 plus 2 is 4 plus 6 is 10. That means it's a 10-year. 10 plus 1 is 0. 111 is a powerful portal on January 1st. 1110 is a powerful portal on January 1st. It is the beginning, it is the end of one cycle, 1110, and the beginning of a new 1111. It is the ending of one cycle, 1110, and the beginning of a new 1111. I need you to really recognize this year. I had a great year this year, 2025. But you know what? I learned a lot, and it was a year of massive growth. It was a year of massive, intensive, insane, sometimes growth, of really learning who I am, what I am, and who I am not, who I no longer am, and what I will no longer do. That's the cycle that was started in 2016 is closing literally right now. And if you've been feeling some resistance or heaviness, it's not because you're failing at all of this, it's because you're shedding a 9-year skin. You know, we physically, our physical beings shed skin every 7 years. Reset. This is a 9-year energetic skin. So today, I'm going to equip you with the identity shift protocol. And that is the metaphysical tools and strategies to heal, align, and to powerfully transition into your highest timeline. We aren't going to be waiting for January 1st, and we start today. Okay? So, shall we begin? It's so exciting, isn't it? It's very exciting. Shall we begin? All righty. Let me take this overlay down. How did that happen? Hang on, gang. For some reason, bear with me, you guys. Bear with me. I know you can hear me. There it is. Oh, goodness. Okay. You'd think this is my first time ever. All right. Here we go. We are going to get started, shall we? Do you have in your mind's eye who you were in 2016? Do you have in your mind's eye who you are meant to become in the future? We are going to talk about all of those things right now. We are going to discuss what this means to get to the new you. Okay, so here we go. So we have a new cycle and a new you, right? That's what we're talking about. We're taking quantum leaps in 2026. Now, before we talk about who you're becoming, we have to then acknowledge what you're leaving behind. So 2016, get that fresh in your memory bank. Where were you? I want you to think about what the major themes in your 2016 was. What were some of the major themes? What were some of the major struggles? What were some of the major relationships that started around that time or ended around that time? I had a whole marriage that started and ended pretty much in that same year. Okay. What 2016 was the seed of the cycle that you're currently finishing. There was a lot that happened to me in 2016 entering into 2017. I'm just going to go through a little bit of that to try to shift your brain, right? Because 2016, holy crap, like I had got married and then filed for divorce. Caught him cheating. It was bad. I also became a health and life insurance agent. I basically figured out to start my own business right around that time period. Like I became an agent, an independent agent, and finally just kind of got a taste of the freedom that was or that is being an entrepreneur. I repaired the relationship between myself and my son and my children in general. I started on this spiritual path. I didn't know anything about spirituality before then. I knew nothing about astrology and Reiki and becoming a shaman. And I mean, I was a minister and all that kind of great stuff. But I didn't know nothing about the rest of this stuff, the tarot. I didn't know nothing about that. Numerology, all that stuff, human design. I learned about that later, but I did not know anything about spirituality. I did not. I started on the journey to knowing self. I started on the journey to knowing myself. Okay. Yeah. And Lisa said your complete life changed in 2016. I think a lot of us had serious life changes in 2016. Interestingly, 2016 was what, a 9-year? 2016 was a 9 year in and of itself. Crazy. And now we're ending that cycle in 2026. So I want you to think about that. What major themes? It was the seed of the cycle you're currently finishing. The last 9 years has been this incredibly long, right? This incredibly long chapter. And so you're feeling this desire to shift right now because that 9 year timeline is actually closing. And the resistance is really that you're completing something. And anytime we get ready to complete it, we kind of wrap it up, right? Whenever we complete projects like in corporate, it's typically we do some sort of, we call it complete and then we kind of debrief, right? And so right now I feel like we're kind of debriefing ourselves. And so we're going to close the 2016 to 2025 chapter and we're going to equip you with the tools needed in order to move forward into the next timeline. So hopefully you guys have had a moment, right? You've had a moment and now we can begin to move forward. We're going to start with the next chapter. And here is the next chapter. We are going to go through the identity shift protocol. All right. The identity shift protocol. So, what we're going to be doing, what I'm introducing to you right now, is going to be a step-by-step framework. Okay. That I developed. It's kind of why I'm looking down, right? That I developed so that you can consciously choose your highest timeline self so that you can get the vision and make it plain. And we're going to write it down on the tablets or on the phones, but you can get the vision and make it plain, and that you will not perish for a lack of knowledge or gnosis of self, higher self, and what you and Creator God Spirit have designed for you to live the life that you desire and deserve that is of your highest good in 2020. Oops. Hi. 6. All right, here we go. Step 1. You guys ready? Step 1 is the audit. So we're going to close the loop. So now what I want you to do in this audit, this is the first step in the identity protocol. I want you to look at the themes from 2016. I want you to write them down. Now you guys will be able to come back and see this, and I'm actually going to snip this as soon as it's ready. I want you to look at the scenes from 2016. I want you to write them down. I want you to identify the lessons you've mastered. So listen, you know what one of the lessons for me is? I am no longer a narcissist's snack, their meal. I'm no longer on a narcissist menu. That don't exist no more, baby. My neck don't come out for the vampire, okay? It's not. That's one of the things I've mastered. I also like to think that I fairly mastered not blowing up. Like, I mastered my emotions so that I don't, like, they're more even keeled, and not that I don't have them, but that I've mastered a lot better operating in a area space of neutrality. So I want you to think about that. What have you mastered? And before to enter the 2026 timeline, you must declare that the old lessons are learned. You have to declare that the old lessons are learned. We don't need to relearn them. Been there, got that t-shirt, learn that lesson. Sweetheart, we don't need to learn them no more. Okay? We are not carrying the baggage of the old cycle into the new one. We're getting a whole new set of clothes. We probably even get us a new set of luggage, okay? Because you know what? That's been worn out. That's been worn out. So that's the first step of the audit, right? The first step. We're going to close the loop. You're going to write down what you've mastered, identify the lessons that you've mastered, and then you're going to, after you write them down, you're going to declare that the old lessons are learned. Okay? The old lessons are learned. Now, step 2, you ready? We're going to define the avatar. Who's the new you? Who is the new version of you living in that dream reality? Remember that reality that we just kind of closed our eyes and said, who is that? In 2026, money ain't a thing. It doesn't matter. What does that life look like? Who is that person? How do they walk? How do they speak? What do they tolerate? What are their boundaries? What are their non negotiables? Right? I want you to take a moment and take an action, if you can do it now, and define 3 specific traits of this 2026 you that are different from the 2016 to 2025 you. What are 3 traits that are different in the 2026 you that are different from the 2016 to 2025 you? Now, for me, again, I only entertain healthy relationships, and I don't care who it's with. It could be with my mama, my daddy, my auntie. Well, my daddy gone, but he's transitioned. But my aunties, like, it don't matter. It don't matter, right? Thanks, Betsy, for putting this up. Step 1, the audit. Look at the themes of 2016. You write them down, identify the lessons learned, and declare old lessons are learned. We are definitely not carrying the old baggage into the new year. We're defining that new avatar. What are 3 specific traits? So, first of all, I'm not a narcissist snack or even on the menu. I'm not a choice on the menu. So, I have over these past 9 years become very clear, no matter with who. And this is even within the last few months, I would say that I finally stepped into this where I'm very clear with everybody, even my children. I've been very clear with them on what's happening next year, what I need, what is necessary for me to thrive, and then how does that look like in relationship to them. Another thing that I fully stepped into that is very much different from 2016 me, I fully stepped into my entrepreneur business maven strategist. Ooh, lover of business, honey. I love to create businesses, and I'm creating more as we go. But I'm being strategic with it, and not just trying to throw up a bunch of stuff up against the wall and hoping that it sticks. We don't do that anymore. We don't just run from idea to idea to that idea because we're too scared to make sure that one of them works. I'm no longer sabotaging my own success. And I think for me, the third trait really, for me, the third trait right now that is very different, I'm at peace. I'm at peace within myself. I'm at peace. No matter what chaos is swirling around me, I'm at peace. Nothing missing, nothing broken. It always works out. I'm at peace. So, did I give you enough time to write 3 specific traits? 3 specific traits of this 2026 you that are different from the 2020 to 2025 you. Now, if I'm going to go further, those are things that I have already changed. Maybe I can go further and say the 2026 me is in a healthy relationship, a healthy, right? More than platonic partnership. Yeah, I think Lisa's ready for love this year. So Lisa's ready for love, finally. Lisa's very intentional about how she spends her energy and time. Very intentional. And Lisa no longer needs to control everything. It's going to take a heck of a lot more breaks. Lisa's a traveling sister, okay? Coming to a city and an airport near you, baby. That's what Lisa is. Okay. Those are definitely 3 things. I could probably name 6 or 9. So, bonus is 6 or 9. But define 3 traits. Okay, we got the 3 traits. All right, fabulous. We're going great. Step number 3, vibrational anchoring, a daily practice. Now, I'm going to help you with this in a second. What is a vibrational anchor and a daily practice? When we have all of these things running around and these changes and these manifestations, we need to ground them. We need to ground our new identity within our being, because the new identity to the physical and the mental us has no clue. The physical and mental us doesn't know and experientially how this new identity walks, talks, does anything, does not know. And because that new identity doesn't know, it's going to fight against it. So we've got to ground it in. Now, I was watching Dan Martell the other day about how to become, how to shift so quickly in 2026 that you're going to have to reintroduce yourself. And he said something in there. So this isn't this, he said something in there that really resonated with me, and I want to bring it to you. What he said in the midst of all of this is that you need to change the code, or you need to change the program. We talk about this all the time, but then I was watching him and I saw somebody else too, and I put this all together. You need to do small things, and there needs to be small evidence, because fear is what? False evidence appearing real. Well, why can't we give our being a real evidence that appears real? So why can't we give our being maybe some false evidence, that some faith evidence that appears real instead of false? So what does that mean? I gave this example in my mastermind, which, by the way, down in the description box below, you're going to find an opportunity to book a call with me if you still want to talk about what you may want to do in 2026 and beyond, and either creating a side hustle that can become a main hustle, or just another stream of income, or you just want to explore some options. I'm getting ready to launch my app finally. Yay. And I'm going to have some pre-launch opportunities to just, if you just want to dip your toes into it, and we'll talk about that throughout the week. But if you want to, there's a free link to book with me. That's not for any type of spiritual guidance or life guidance or anything like that. That's strictly for business purposes, but there are other links to do the other guidance. You need to give yourself some evidence, and it's little things. So in my mastermind, I was talking about how over this year that I really was disappointed in myself was the consistency or lack of consistency in social media posting, and being on social media, and being on this channel, and being on, just in general. Like I have really been irresponsible with my social media this past year. But I made a decision, instead of getting on my own self and beating myself up, you know what I did? I said, okay, what system can I put in place to help me be better at that? To help me be better, to help me be consistent. So I stopped saying to myself, I'm not consistent. And I started saying that I post consistently across 4 platforms: LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, my personal Facebook, and TikTok. 4 platforms I post consistently on daily. Now, I had nothing to back that up. Do you know what I did after that? Because I still do. I have these like weekly layouts of, this is what we're talking about this week, and this is the theme of this week, and this is the theme of next week. And I try to give them about 2 to 3 weeks in advance. And if I need to tweak something, that's great. But, I have these weeks. And what would happen is, maybe I'd post my LinkedIn article on Sunday. You could find me, Lisa Brewer, on LinkedIn if you want to get like business stuff over there. I post there. And maybe I'd post it on Instagram, and I'd post my little talking head video on TikTok or whatnot. But child, I was not, by Wednesday, baby, there was nothing going up nowhere. Okay. So what I decided to do is, okay, I'm going to take the moment now, and I'm going to I'm going to find some tools. So I found Hey Jan, I found 11 Labs, I found some tools to use. And I said, let me take the minute to learn the tools. So I took a minute to learn the tools. And then I began to see how easy it was, because then I didn't have to put makeup on it. I had to do this. My point is I figured out a way to begin to make the content easier. The production was easier so that I could be consistent, because I didn't have time. And I was good that when I really said this, I think it was like beginning of November. I was good for about, I made it all the way up till Wednesday, posting consistently. Okay. The next week, I made it to Thursday. Even if I posted on some of these platforms late as heck, I still did it. And every time I did it, I gave myself a pat on the back. You posted another day in succession. You posted another day in succession. You have another day of being consistent. So as I'm speaking over myself to say that I am consistent in posting on 4 platforms every day, I'm feeding myself little tidbits, little crumbs of behavior that shows evidence of what I'm manifesting. I am acting in the behavioral method and modality that someone who is of this level would operate in. Does that make sense? So, whatever this is, give yourself a little bit more evidence every day. Okay? You need to, and also then we need certain vibrational anchors. They're triggers to bring you back to your highest timeline. Years and years ago, when I talked about this, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, guys, when I was talking to y'all about how I manifested my house while I was in the middle of a financial bad situation, manifested my house. I saw myself owning this home. I've been seeing myself owning a home at 50 and making multiple 6 figures by 50. That was the 2 things I saw. And so I would keep this vision in my brain and I would meditate on it every time, all the time. And when my physical being doubted whether or not that was going to be made manifest and I was actually going to be able to close in the house, I did this. I did a mudra. And every time, and even now, I do this mudra. It is literally because while I was meditating on it, and all of that, I did this to anchor it in. I did it. You need a physical something to anchor it in. It could be tapping the side of your leg. It could be a mudra. It could be I don't know. Don't use the rubber band on the wrist because that hurts. But that it still invokes in me an image, not of the house in Wisconsin now, but an image of the house that I'm going to build here with land and a farm and country girl at heart. This still invokes that. This still invokes the beautiful home with the window to ceiling, with the floor to ceiling windows, and absolutely. It absolutely invokes that imagery because that's my dream home. Okay. So boom. So maybe it's a specific ring you only wear when you're in character. Like I think this year when I head out to LA, hopefully in February, if I don't get out there sooner, I want some gold. I want some real gold jewelry. I want some gold rings. I want some real gold jewelry with diamonds and rubies. I no longer have a ruby and diamond ring. Ruby is my birthstone. I love ruby. Maybe it's a new alarm sound that signals opportunity instead of duty. Okay, so we're going to put some physical anchors in here, okay? In order so that when you begin to doubt, because your brain still isn't reprogrammed. All right? then it'll remind you. And step 4 is we're going to dissolve that glitch. So this is the pro tip. As you're shifting, imposter syndrome is going to flare up. As you're shifting, your natural state right now is going to say, you are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They ain't happening. When self-doubt hits, I want you to recognize it as old code from the 2016 cycle. That's old code. We have updated. We have a new version 2026. But I don't want you to fight the old code. I want you to acknowledge the old code. I don't want you to fight the old code. I want you to acknowledge the old code. And just know that it's expiring. That version will no longer be supported. Y'all know, like, was it Windows 10 or whatever? Some of you guys that use Windows PC, you'll know that Paint 3D, right? I love Paint 3D. I thought it was a great Microsoft Paint 3D. I thought it was a cute little, nice little program. Loved it down. But last year sometime it said, well, we are no longer going to be offering customer support for Paint 3D. So basically, if it break, child, it done broke. Okay? If it break, it's broken. Too bad, so sad. You better fix something else out. That 2016 code is no longer being supported by your 2026 person. Just acknowledge it and say, that code is expired. And then refocus your anchor. Does this all make sense to everybody? This all makes sense because we're going to move into our action plan. I didn't know we was going to do a little sermon at the beginning of this live. Okay, you guys ready? You guys ready? Now we're going to do, which one are we doing here? Here, we're going to do this. Now we're going to step through your 2026 manifestation vortex. We are not waiting now for January 1st. We are creating a right now roadmap. This energy starts today. Today is the portal. December the 21st. 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. And we're in a 9 year. So technically, this is a 369 portal if we really want to play it like that. It's a 369 portal. Do you guys know anything about 369 portals? You know anything about 369? Manifestation, the Tesla code, where you write what you're manifesting down 3 times first thing when you wake up, 6 times in the afternoon right around lunch, and 9 times before you go to bed. 369 manifestation. There's something about writing it down and making it plain. There's something about writing it down and making it plain. You write it down, you bring it into this earth. It's you putting pen to paper. And I firmly believe that writing it in cursive, even though technically, right, you think, oh, curse really means cursing, but it also can be, don't freak out, spell casting. And why am I saying that? Because there's something about writing in cursive that empowers. It is an energetic flow. I'm not picking up my pen constantly to print. It is cursive, it flows. Write it in cursive. And if you don't know how to write in cursive, find a YouTube channel and figure it out, or buy yourself a book. Buy yourself one of those children's like writing books on Amazon. You need to write in cursive. I don't know why I just said that, but I have a feeling somebody's going to watch this and they're not going to know how to write in cursive. I really feel like somebody's going to watch this on a replay or on a clip and they're not going to know how to write in cursive. And I'll be like, ooh. The solstice is a 369 portal. We are in the vibration of setting up something new. Now, so it's today, it's right now we're doing this. Your environment must match your future and not your past. I want you to look around your room. I want you to look around your house. Does it reflect 2016 you or 2026 you? Now I will tell you, I'm looking around the studio and I'm really glad y'all can't see because I need to organize the studio before I leave to go to Wisconsin. But I need to organize my studio big time. Big time. I'm not going into 2026 rather disorganized and wanting to hold on to all the paper because all the paper and that kind of stuff, that just is me needing to control. Like I recognize that's something that I need, that's me feeling like I need to control. I also know that 2026 I'm going to have to move. Cuz let me tell you something, sweetheart. I I need space again. I need a nice 3-bedroom home with a basement and a garage that I live in on my own. I need that space. Now I like living here. I love living here. Don't get me wrong. I really do enjoy it. But I've lived my little single girl life long enough. Single girl apartment dwelling life. I'm good. I need a house. So change one thing. No, that's a big change, right? I want you to change one thing to raise the vibration in the room, in your home. Be sure, like I love to go to the African shop and I buy incense. This is frankincense and myrrh. I buy incense from the African shop and burn it. If you really want to raise the vibration, matter of fact, while I'm sitting here, I'm probably gonna light it. While y'all can do smell-o-vision there. Um, if y'all want to raise the vibration of a room quickly, either get some frankincense and put it in a diffuser or get frankincense incense. You can put frankincense and myrrh together, oils, essential oils in a diffuser, do the incense. But let me tell you something, frankincense purifies and sanctifies and just it raises the vibration of any room that it is burned in or that it is diffused in. So I'm just gonna do this right here. Y'all gonna be all right. Light that incense. Ooh, it's not getting hot. There we go. All right. We're gonna have a little frankincense. That's what I'm gonna do right now. We'll raise the vibration. But something, okay? And then the next thing I want you to do is identify your soul tribe. Let me tell you something. You know, just like all skin folk ain't kinfolk, everybody you talk to, everybody you hang with, everybody you see on YouTube, everybody that you're in fellowship with ain't part of your soul tribe. They're not. If you've been having a difficult time getting to the next level, I'm going to purport to you that you need to change the network and the group of people that you're hanging around. Your net worth is in direct correlation to your network. So if you're not networking with people that are raising their vibrations, that are raising up their standards, that are moving forward in new identities, that are moving forward to being their highest selves, you're not going to get there. Sometimes that means you're going to have to let family, love family from a distance, love friends from a distance, and realign yourself. That's not an easy thing for me to say to do, but baby, it's the thing that needs to be done. Okay? That's not an easy thing, but it needs to be done. Who amplifies your power? You need people around you to speak the language of your future. All right. We're coming down to the nitty gritty here. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of a bonus. I'm going to give you a little bit of a bonus. What is a soul tribe? A soul tribe is a group of people who, on an energetic level, We're spiritual brothers and sisters. And we're a group of people that uplift one another. We all don't have to have the same exact beliefs, but we do need to all be moving at the same, within the same frequency. So for instance, I don't always have, I can be in a soul tribe with a Buddhist, with someone that is of the Muslim faith, with someone that is of the Hindu faith, with someone that is a charismatic Christian, with someone that is the religion doesn't matter, Catholic, it don't matter, because our souls resonate with one another. When we're together, we feed, not feed off of, we feed one another. We can have deep conversations about wonderful, we can have just deep conversations in general, whether it's good, bad, indifferent, or whatever, because it is what it is. But we're all moving in the same direction. We don't all have to be at the same level, but we need to be moving in the same direction. There are people that used to be part of my soul tribe, and they used to be part of the soul tribe right here on this YouTube channel, that are no longer. There used to be people that I was very, very, very close to, that were dear, dear sisters, and we're just not close anymore. Sometimes, some of them may say, oh, well, you got mad and then you didn't, maybe. And maybe I got, let me tell you something. Sometimes, can I be honest with you? Sometimes you'll know that you really were meant to move around from that soul tribe and you don't do it fast enough, or that partner or that person, and you don't do it fast enough. And then what happens to some of us is we linger too long, and then the explosion happens, and then it's irreparable damage rather than just a clean break. Right? So, your soul tribe, right? And now it's okay. Like, I'm used to moving through phases and stages, and understanding that some friends and some relationships aren't meant to be forever. They are transitional, not transactional. But your soul tribe should feed you, not feed off of you. Okay. All right. You guys ready for some really interesting? This is going to be fun. We are now going to do daily. Let me take this. Where is this down? Oh, sorry. We're going to do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. We're going to do a daily. We're going to give you daily vibrational anchors. So I'm going to give you some examples of what a daily vibrational anchor could be. Now, guys, this is exciting. I created this just for you. There's a QR code on the screen. There's a QR code on the screen right now. And when you download that, I'm going to show you guys what you're going to get. When you download that, you are going to get access. You go over here. You are going to get access to this, which is a 2026, share with my screen. Let's share the entire screen just so you could see. A 2026, how can I put this? This is a wallpaper, and I created it in Canva. It's a Canva template for a wallpaper. You only need a free Canva account. So if you've never had a Canva account, just scan that and go to that link and you'll set one up for free. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to click here, my 2026 mantra. So when we determine what's the mantra, what is your mantra for 2020? I can't pronounce it like Wisconsin, mantra. What's your mantra for 2026? You're going to click right there and you're going to type in there. You're going to double click. And then a supporting goal, 3 different supporting goals. So if my 2026 mantra is that I am intentional and prosperous in all that I do. Right? I am intentional and prosperous in all that I do. It's my 2026 mantra. So, what could a supporting goal for that be? Well, let's see. Supporting goal number one probably will be restructure my businesses so that I am in the CEO role and not doing repetitive tasks, doing a lot of tasks, right? And then maybe the next goal is whatever, right? It could be whatever. Maybe this next goal is I will spend quality time outside of the home doing fun activities and meeting people. And then maybe my third goal is I eat clean, and exercise to strengthen my body. And this needs to say I spend quality time, so that's definitely what I do. So you just do that. Did you guys use the QR code? Do that. And there's also a link in the description box down below. And I'll drop it in the chat. Actually, let me drop that in the chat. But anyway, you're gonna do this, and then you're gonna click download, and you're gonna download it either as a JPEG or a PNG, right? And if you do this on your phone, then you can save it to your phone and set it as your wallpaper. Okay? You can save it to your phone and then set it, oh no. Okay, as your wallpaper. So what I'm going to do now is let me stop sharing and let me drop the link, okay, in the chat to this because I have it in here. Here we go. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. There we go. Create your free 2026 mantra phone wallpaper. There's the link. It's in the chat, but it's also in the description below. Hey, sweets. Trust Justice 88. You love number 2. Listen, I'm going to take some of y'all outside with me. We need to get outside. Let's get outside and enjoy ourselves. So I want you to do that, okay? That is one of this is how we begin to make all of this stuff super, super practical. Okay, this is how we make things practical, right? By doing things like this. So that right there is our digital gatekeeper. Okay, that's our digital gatekeeper, is our phone. So put that on your phone, on your lock screen. I want you to think about how many times, right, a day that you look at your phone. Now, every time that you unlock it, you're technically entering into the portal. You're entering into the phone portal. Right now, when you change that lock screen, then it then makes it something it's write the vision, make it plain. So here we go again. We're writing the vision, make it plain. We're writing it on our tablet. Okay. You're welcoming your new life. You're just all the right. So that's why I made that. Okay. You can make your own. You can just do a note that says, welcome to your new life and screenshot it. Or you can say, welcome 2026 new me, whatever. But I just decided to make that up there for you guys. If you're watching it on TV, just just QR code, take your camera, QR code, or you can do it if you're watching on your laptop or your desktop, and then you can do that as well. Okay, here we go. But this is in everything below. Now, the next thing, number 2. Here's the second of 3 quick win vibrational anchors, the CEO scent. Scent is the strongest link to memory and identity. So pick a specific essential oil. That's why I was talking about frankincense. For me, it's frankincense. I swear to you, like every time I smell frankincense, it's like I step into a whole new area, a whole new power, a whole new me. I step into a whole new me when I smell frankincense. I mean, just this right now, I'm just like, ah. So pick a specific essential oil, a cologne, or a perfume you only wear when you're working on your dreams or stepping into your highest self. When I'm concentrating on something, when I'm working on something, I light up some frankincense. I just do it naturally. There's a wonderful perfume that one of my dear friends purchased for me a few years ago. I still have quite a bit, and I only wear it, and it's nice. It's a pretty expensive perfume. I only wear it when I'm really stepping into my magical self. When I'm like, yep, I'm dressed. Yep, I'm her. Yep, that's it. Right? Like that's the only time I wear it. It's not an everyday scent for me. It's the only time I wear it. So don't wear that to the grocery store, right? And if it's an essential oil and you want to put it on as kind of your daily thing, cool. But if you're going to do essential oils like that, I would prefer that you probably get the oil and use a diffuser, like water diffuser, or get the incense. Okay. When you're building your 2026 vision, the moment you smell it, your brain will snap out of the 2016 slump and the 2025, like, oh my God, I'm still there, and snap into 2026 focus. Okay. That was number 2. And here's the third quick win, the password prophecy. This is going to be so much fun. The password prophecy. This is a small thing that can create massive ripples. So guys, we type passwords all the time every day, right? Or we have them saved all the time every day. Change your main password to an affirmation. Instead of whatever, make your main password 2026 millionaire exclamation point or healed and whole 26. Type your intention. Type your intention every time you type in your password. If you use like a 4-digit code, right, to unlock it, make it a number, either make it 2026 to remind you that you're not doing old stuff no more. I don't know what you want to do. I don't know if you want to make it the first 4 digits of the rest of the 7 or 8 digits you intend to make this year. I don't know make it some number that's significant for you. Figure out some sort of code, but do something different. Do something different. Type your intention into existence multiple times a day. Have that programmed even into your computer multiple times so that every time you log in subconsciously, that brand new password that's millionaires or whatever the case, 7 figures, da 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 da, that's in there. And because that's in there, then every time the computer, you changed it once, but now every time you log in, you know what happens? The computer, subconsciously that's what your password is. And now everything that you're doing, even within the computer, then has that energy in it. Does that make sense, guys? I love that one. The password list. I'm gonna show that one. Don't forget that password prophecy. Now I want you to do one of these three and choose one of the three. Let's go over them again. Let me see. Let me go. First one was the digital gatekeeper. So that's the lock screen. You're gonna scan that QR code or go into the chat. I just pinned it on YouTube, or go into the description box on YouTube, and you're gonna get that link. And you can change that. It's a Canva file. It's a Canva template. If you guys have issues, let me know. Um, the second one is the CEO scent. So some sort of olfactory anchor, because this is so smell, sense, they just, man, right? They anchor things in it. Or the third one is the password prophecy. And you could do all three. I just want you to choose one. So 1, 2, or 3. Which one are you guys doing? 1, 2, or 3? Which one are you guys doing? 1, 2, or 3? The digital gatekeeper, the CEO scent, or the password prophecy? Or are you gonna do them all? If you're gonna do them all, write all in the chat. If you're gonna do them all, write all in the chat. If you're which one you want to do before we end today, let me know. What are we doing in the? Let me know in the chat. Okay, let me know in the chat what we are doing. This was amazing, guys. I've loved doing this. I loved preparing for this. I prepared this like most all day, you know? Like it took me most of the afternoon. I was like, oof, I have so many other things I got to do. But you know what? I really wanted to bring this. I haven't been here. And I'm like, I'm going to be here much more. Yes, Betsy said all. Yes. Annalise said 1 and 2. I love it. Sweet said 2 and 3 most likely. I love that. Well, no, not most likely. Which one you going to do? Now you're going to rewatch this, Sweets, but which one are you going to do? Not most likely. Because that's part of the problem. We have to commit to ourselves. We don't got to commit that the identity shifting is something we're doing, and that's it. 1 and 2, absolutely. Hey, Morning Cups of Convo podcast. How you doing? Hello, darling. Absolutely 1 and 2. Thank you. Okay. I want to see all of us grow into and be that version of our higher self that we deserve. Your dream. Yeah, I'm calling you out. I love you. Number 2, I love that. Thank you. I want us to, because it's time. You're never going to be it until you are it. You have to make the decision, and you have to make it a non-negotiable. I can't. I refuse. I refuse. There are just some non-negotiables, and they're non-negotiables within me. I won't do it any longer. You shouldn't do it any longer. So if this is calling you, this level of change, if you know you're entering into the next chapter, if it's calling you, then I need you to answer the call. The future is calling. So the question at this point now is, will you answer? The next cycle really isn't even blank. The next cycle actually already is filled with your vision. Anchor your vision into your mind, into your being, into your soul. Be that person that's living that life in 2026. You have all the tools, you have the roadmap. It is time to step into your infinite potential. It is time for you to not drag the old you into this new year. It is time to activate the extraordinary future you were destined to live. The future, your future is calling. Will you answer? All right, that's all I got today, y'all. I hadn't intended on being here on this all this time, but you know what? I enjoyed it. So I'm heading out to Wisconsin on Tuesday, the 23rd. And then I'll be with the grandbabies. Um, we love the grandbabies. I'll be back on the 30th. Uh, but I'm setting aside time because I miss this, and I miss you, and I miss teaching, and I miss just being. So what I want you guys to do is leave me in the comments, and you're gonna get snippets of this. I'm gonna take snippets of this and break it up. But I want you to leave me in the comments what that vision is for 2026. What's one thing that you're dedicated to changing, and let me know how it went. Let me know how it went. Um, as far as doing 1, 2, or 3, what you're doing, which quick win vibrational anchor you're doing, and we'll do some more meditations about bringing in this vision and creating this vision. I think we need to do that before the new year. Don't you think so? Trust Justice, you should be seeing. By the way, guys, we're Trust Justice is starting a channel. We're gonna start having content up there very soon. But go subscribe to Trust Justice, please. That's going to be some very interesting content. Go over there and subscribe. And if you're watching afterwards in the replay, go subscribe. You'll see me tomorrow. We're having our holiday party tomorrow. We're having our holiday party tomorrow for the mastermind. So I'm excited about that. It's going to start at 7, so everybody should be able to come. So I miss y'all, and I need to be back over here. And this is part of my calling, so that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, guys, if you didn't get a chance, the Black Friday Festival is still up. It's in a playlist. You still have access to all of that. And I want you to review this back and forth. I really want you all to get this 2026 vision, and I'll make a few more videos. We'll talk about the 2026 vision and really how to bring that in and make sure that you have it clear so that you can manifest it. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get on off of here so that y'all can rest. I know some people got to go to work tomorrow, and I still have things to build, so I gotta go. All right, peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys so much. Namaste. Bye.